practice.
Hey, Sean,
was there any talk about maybe not practicing because of the Jacob Lake thing? I noticed a couple teams didn't practice. Did you guys talk about that at all?
We didn't talk about that, so it really didn't come up.
Sean, what would be your response if there was a player that wanted to sit out or miss practice in response to that? Have you thought of how you would react to that if one of the players decided to do that?
Yeah, look, the thing I mentioned last night to the team is, I think we've got a really good, close locker room, and if they came up with something that they felt they wanted to do, I would support it, and I think that there still might be something they wish to do, and the idea of just putting his name on everyone's helmet was something that we felt would be appropriate, and I think they were for it.
John, is this changed? Is this something new? Seeing players just be so willing to use their voice, their platform, to speak out about stuff like this?
I don't think it's new. I think certainly the attention drawn to specifically this topic is new to our season this year, and maybe not even our season this year because it's been a few years now. But I think that history would tell us that look, we've seen this before, and I think part of coaching is teaching them. They have a voice and a very powerful one, and certainly understanding that and respecting everyone's voice, and so collectively as a team, a lot of things can be done to encourage change and be a part of change. So that's part of the teaching element of what we do as coaches. Never changes regardless of the level, whether it's Pop Warner, high school, college, or the NFL. It's more than just football.
Now,
John, how do you balance, as a head coach, how do you balance trying to keep the focus during camp? You got a game in a couple weeks and preparing, and listening to the important needs of your players as a head coach?
Well, I think that takes place every year. There are a number of things that our players incur throughout the course of the season. Something like this is significant, and it's very important, and it's part of the challenge of being a professional athlete. I think that the last thing would be to ignore it or pretend like it wasn't happening. And I think that I think we've got the right leadership in this locker room to understand those elements and having the correct balance.
John, what do you think it's going to take for, I guess, the rest of the country to get the message and to understand what's going on?
Well, look, I think whether or not everybody in this country understands what's going on is one topic, but the ability to make change and to move forward in a positive way is a different matter. And I think, we're right in the middle of what is an election year. We had the convention, the Democratic convention last week, this week, the Republican convention. All of those things are taking place at the same time. I think that it's never easy, and yet these topics sometimes aren't easy, and yet there's an old adage: the obstacle is the way, and it's not going around. It's understanding and going through it and addressing it, even if it means uncomfortable conversations and topics that may make people somewhat uneasy. All right, thank you.
I wanted to ask a quick question, but I didn't want to interrupt that. And then I'll pause the 1 second too long.
you can go ahead and type in the chat, and I'll call on you. Okay, first question is going to go to Luke Johnson. Luke?
Keith, what has this process been like for you in training camp? Just kind of getting your feet wet in the NFL after this kind of weird summer that everybody went through.
It's most definitely been challenging, but every day you just go out there and give it your best, and I'm constantly learning. It's a good thing that I got a lot of veterans on this team to just help me and push me every day. But it's definitely been a challenge. But every day a new day.
Has there been anybody in particular that you've been kind of leaning on as a veteran?
Yeah, guys like Malcolm Jenkins, Janoris Jenkins, even like Jameis Winston. Even on the offensive side of the ball, a lot of guys have helped me a lot through these days of camp.
Next question from Amos Morale.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, obviously, with the position group, it's really deep, a lot of talented players. Do you feel more pressure to kind of show out in training camp knowing you won't have preseason games because you've got such tough competition?
Man, I knew coming into this that we weren't going to have any preseason games. And, I knew it was going to be a challenge anyway. This the NFL. Everybody's a professional. So, every day it's a challenge. But, every day you just got to go out there, do what your coach tell you to do, compete. And, you lay it all on the line and everything will fall in place.
Next question is from Christopher Donalds.
Hey Keith, what are some of the biggest adjustments you've had to make coming into the Saints defense, and how does the Saints defensive style either complement or not complement your skill set?
Some of the biggest adjustments just learning, where your help at. In college most of the time I was just going out there lining up against the best guy and just covering them pretty much on my own. But it's a team defense. So once you learn where you help at and just learn it, the different principles of the defense and everything, it make playing ball a lot easier.
Next question is from Amy Just.
Hey, yeah, you just talked about some of the teammates you have that have been helping you out, but today, for example, AG was working with you on the side. What's that been like learning from him?
He's a guru, man. He's been coaching me hard every day. Giving me all the little things that I need to do to help myself become a better cornerback and a better football player. So it's been a blessing that I can have a coach like that on to help me out through this process.
What'd he tell you today?
Man, just little football techniques and stuff that he know and that he used when he was playing, and that can help benefit me when I'm on the field.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Keith, how much do you think you've grown just in these last couple of weeks? Where would you kind of put yourself from the start of training camp to now?
Man, I say I've grown a lot just from a football standpoint. Just like I said, just knowing how to play football and where to be at. Just learning even new techniques that I didn't know before. So every day is something new that you can learn in this game, and I feel like I've learned a lot, but I still got a long way to go.
Just when you're out there first starting out, where is your confidence at there, and how do you kind of keep that up if things aren't going great right off the bat?
I mean, man, I play cornerback. So anytime you play cornerback in football, and especially in the field, you gotta be confident in yourself, man. You're gonna get beat sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna give up touchdowns, but you gotta have that next play mentality. And I carry that a lot. So I'm very confident in myself and my abilities. And if you make a mistake, man, you just gotta shake it off and bounce back.
Next question is from Roe Brown.
Yeah, Keith. Talk about what you learned from practicing every day against the receiver who caught 149 passes last year, and he's one of the best in the league. What does that teach you?
Man, you got to be on your toes every time you step out there, and even if it's a walkthrough, walkthrough 7-on-7 one-on-ones team, there's no plays off, especially at cornerback. So it's definitely challenging, and like I said, it's a blessing to have these veteran guys that performed in the league for years, and proven themselves. So every time I step out there in that field, man, I just got to bring my A game and compete.
Nick, do you have a question? I think we're good.
All good? Good.
Yes, sir.
All
Appreciate it.
good. Thank you, Keith.
I appreciate y'all.
First question is going to be from
Craig, just first thing, the Jacob Blake stickers, just can you tell us how that came about and, what that meant to you guys to be able to wear that sticker?
Came about, we had a team meeting. It was something that was just, that was decided above us that we were going to wear it, in honor him. But that's not our main thing that we're doing. Trying to do some other stuff, to honor him and honor everything that's going on. Just put a word to it, and just let everybody know, that we're not gonna stand for that.
Next question is from John DeSager.
Craig, how important, I guess, was it for you guys to have unity throughout the team on this to show you all one voice on it?
Okay, so let me go on and start. I don't want to be rude, but I kind of know every question is going to be about Jacob Blake right now. And I know as a team, as captains, we're still deciding on stuff to do. So I honestly, I have my own thoughts, and I really don't want to speak for everybody in the Saints organization. So if you want to talk about football, we can talk about football, but I don't want to put my own personal thoughts above all my teammates and all that. I feel like that's something we should do collectively as a group, and I just want to let that be known, as we're answering all these questions right now, and they're all pretty focused on the same topic.
Next question is from Catherine Terrell.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, is this the most time in a few years that you've gotten this amount of snaps with the first team? Are they rotating more than normal?
No. We're just, guys, we're a whole linebacker room, right? So we're here to take care of each other. Going with different groups, it's a different skill set that you're going against. We got young guys going with the ones as well. Just trying to get a look at everybody. We're all competing, and just trying to figure out, who can play, and what we all can do for this team.
Just to follow up, do you think the defense typically has an advantage early in training camp because you know the offensive formations and what they're trying to do in practice? And does that typically even out, or is it different every year?
I guess you can say that. As a defensive player, you would say the offense would have some type of advantage too, because they know the same formations and how we play them. They have keys as well. And Drew's been playing against this defense since 2006, so I guess you could say he's been there, done that with a lot of things. So it's just a learning curve, and I guess as a team, man, we're just playing. Competition has been at its highest since I've been here, and it's really showing when we compete offense versus defense, just iron on iron.
Next question's from Amos Morale.
Yeah, you mentioned that competition has sort of been at its highest. Do you think that's sort of a product of the fact that you guys don't have preseason, so everybody's kind of amped up a little bit more?
No, not at all. I just think we just really have a really good team with a lot of depth. You got a lot of guys that's played a lot of snaps in this league, and then we sprinkle in some rookies that can play as well. So them just watching after some of these old guys and learning new tricks, that's only gonna make them better. And it's just like I said, iron sharpens iron. Like when you have a receiver room that's deep like we have, like they're all learning from Mike T. They're all learning from CJ. Like some of those young guys, they're learning stuff that young guys in other places aren't learning, and just like, Jameis and Taysom, like they're both learning from Drew. Like that's something that a lot of teams aren't gaining in other places, especially not having preseason. So I think that's a huge advantage for us.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
I didn't have a question. I took it out.
Thank you.
Next question's from Luke Johnson.
Greg, Joe Bocci was telling us that you kind of have been using your experience coming into the league to kind of show him, how to do it. Going into that, what was your experience like coming into the league, and how similar is that to what some of these guys are going through right now, just with the lockout and everything? Yeah, so obviously I came out lockout year, so I didn't even get an invite to training camp. So I guess you can say I came into the league through the back door. Practice squad, and really just earn my take year after year, and just telling those guys, the young guys, like, man, like nobody cares about your situation, right? Because the show goes on regardless. And the faster you realize that, the faster you don't have any pity for yourself, and the more that you enjoy your day every day, then you realize how special it is to be here where you are. And hey, like, you get an opportunity, you only get one opportunity to do this, so you better put your best foot forward. And that's pretty much what I preach every day. Having fun while you do it, that's been a huge thing for me. Like, it's a kid's game. We're just grown men who get to do it. And if you're not having fun playing football, then you really shouldn't be playing.
John Sager.
You might have kind of answered this, but let me preface this by saying your answer can't have anything to do with the cues. But you're the guy who kind of supplies a lot of energy for this team. What is your thought process, and what are you going through to kind of generate that each and every day?
Where do I go?
Yeah, I mean, where do you go to mentally to kind of find that every day?
Oh man, I just wake up. I wake up, man. I got it. You know, I mean, I've always been like that. Like you can go back to when I was in high school, middle school. It's like it's something that I don't know, can't really teach it. Like you got to have it. You can fake it, you know, but I mean, people can see through that, you know. And I have a Celsius in the morning, so I want to throw that out there. Thank you, Will Lutz, you know, Zach Wood. They give me a Celsius sometime in the morning, but I'm already gassed up before that. It's, you know, like when you realize, like I say this all the time, John, like I love playing football. You know, I love being around my brothers. And training camp is tough. You know, like you wake up, you're tired. The locker room is quiet. Training room is quiet when you get here in the morning. And, I mean, I love to be that person, you know, liven it up, put a smile on everybody's face, and just realize, like, man, like we're all blessed to be here. And it could be 1,000 times worse, you know. So I just kind of live by that every day.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Just to follow up on that, have you thought about, like, with no fans in the games, like, will you guys have to manufacture that energy a little bit more just on Sundays?
Yeah, haven't really thought about it too much because, I mean, we usually gassed up on game days anyway. That's kind of who we are, you know, just as an organization. But I feel like our sideline is, we're going to be turned like always, you know, and not having fans in the stands is, I feel like we'll have some music going, and just like we have music at practice, you know, guys will be dancing, guys will be going, you know, and it'll just be something where we feed off of each other and just keep everything exciting and keep fun, keep things rolling.
Next question's from Jeff Duncan.
Hey, Craig, you all have had such great success the last 3 years, won 3 division titles, more games than anybody in the league. It's been pretty well documented. I'm curious to get your thoughts on just how motivated you all are by the way the seasons have ended. I mean, does that stick in your all's craw? Is it something that will drive you all this season?
Well, that's every year, right? We had this before. That was y'all's big question. Hey, how do y'all bounce back, right? And then we bounce back and then we don't finish. So our whole thing is just, you know, let's get into the playoffs and then let's focus on finishing. You know, but right now our first step is, you know, try to win the division. So we focus on that and just go step by step and just keep rolling. Like right now we really can't worry about, you know, finishing. You know, you got 32 teams and everybody has the same goal, right? So we focus on our first goal and then we go to the next after that.
Thanks.
No problem.
Next question's from Amy Just.
Yeah, back to energy. You're always dancing. You're always having a good time. But it seems to me that you're having even more fun when Teron Armstead's songs come on during practice. What's that been like? Just, you know, hearing him again, you know, and him exploring some of that creative outlet.
Yeah, I mean, y'all may not know this, but I'm his manager. You know, so I guess I have to do that. You know, if you want to promote your guy, right? Like you have to provide that energy, especially when his song comes on in front of all your teammates. You have to let all your teammates know that, hey, that's Teron. So that's pretty much me. But no, I'm not his manager. But man, like he's always sent me his music. He's always, you know, hey, what you think about this? Like, should I change this? So like when you hear the final product and you know how much work that he's put into it, right? Like you enjoy it like it's yours. And that's pretty much how I feel when I listen to his music, right? Like I'm jamming, you know, Big T Stead, I'm with it. And I'm like, I remember he wanted to maybe use something else, or he liked this other song versus this one, you know? And when his teammates listen to it, like, and me and him gassed up, like they're going to be gassed up when they listen to it. So it's just dope to see that everybody vibing out to his music. And he has great music, and if y'all want to stream it, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, just in case y'all want to go check it out.
Our last question's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Craig, I'm just wondering if any of your taunting has ever worked on Will Lutz on some of these practice field goals.
No, I mean, he's best kicker in the game. You know, we did talk about that's the reason why we did it, me and Marcus, because obviously it's going to be a little bit different for kickers as well, right? That's something that people haven't thought of when there's no fans in the stands. It becomes a point of they have white noise. They don't really hear anything. Now they don't have that white noise. It's going to be an echo, you know, playing in a Superdome where there's no people. So he's going to be able to hear, you know, more taunting, more this, more that. So he's trying to find ways to, you know, block it out and continue being the best kicker in the game.
All right, that should wrap it up. Thanks, Craig. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Emmanuel?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just your thoughts on the team's decision to wear the Jacob Blake name across the helmets, and what do you feel like you guys are projecting by being able to do that?
Yeah, I think it's a good start, but I feel like we got to do more as well. And so when Sean Payton, he called the team meeting last night and told us that we're gonna put his name on our helmets. He also said that he's open for discussion of anybody bringing any ideas of trying to do more as well. So I think that we're all going to get together and see if we can do more than that as well. But I think it was a good start.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Emmanuel, it's been 4 years since Kaepernick took a knee, but how frustrating is it, or is it frustrating that 4 years later we're still having these same conversations?
Yeah, I think it's exhausting. For me, to keep having the same conversations over and over and over, and really not seeing any change. It just keeps rehabbing. It becomes exhausting because, to be able to even use, this platform that us athletes own, it's amazing. But, to keep talking about the same thing when truthfully, you just want to live in a world or live in a nation in which you're not judged by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character, like Martin Luther King once said. And I'm over here talking to you guys, and my job is truthfully to play football, but I have to speak on these issues, and I have to talk about these issues and address these issues because of the platform that we're on. And it is a problem in America, and I just hope that just some type of change comes. And I just got off the Rich Eisen show, and I just saw how exhausting and draining it is that you put so much energy and so much emotion into it, and then you think that change is gonna come, and then 4 or 5 months later it happens again, and it happens again a year later, and I'm sure in 2 years we're gonna be talking about the same thing over and over. And so for me, it's like when is it ever gonna stop, and when is the change actually gonna come? And I pray it happens from a legislative point or from the government or something. I hope that they're listening and they're trying to make some type of change.
A quick follow-up. What are the conversations like with your, because you have a son, I think, right?
Yeah.
What are those conversations like, or what do you?
Yeah, I mean, my son knows. He walked to me and told me, about George Floyd, and I kind of told him, as best I can. But my son's 6 right now, and as he gets older and older, I can really go in the deep with it. But I just want him to be a 6-year-old right now. I just want him to be a normal 6-year-old and kind of shield him from that. I just feel like as a parent, if you go too deep into it, it's not good. Let him be a kid, and my daughter's 3, and so I try to explain to him just a little bit, kind of like the whole Santa Claus is real situation. But as the older and older you get, and we have that father time, I definitely got to break him down to the history of America and what is coming and what is still going on today, which is sad.
Next question's from Douglas Mountain.
Emmanuel, was there any talk of shutting down practice today? Come up among players?
No, there was no talk. Not that I know of.
Next question's from Catherine Terrell.
I was wondering what was going through your head when you saw what was going on with the NBA last night, and if this is maybe the most, impactful you've seen. I'm trying to think of how to word it. Is this the most change or ability to make change you've seen from athletes and their platforms in your lifetime?
For me, when I saw it, it made me happy. But, the longer and longer I thought about it, I said, well, will they cancel the entire season? Because if they cancel the entire season, maybe that could bring about a change to show how serious it is. But if they go back to playing, in my head, it's like, is that really doing anything? So I know, LeBron, man, he's one of those guys that I look up to. And I know that I just follow him on Instagram. I know he's reading books and trying to figure it out as well. And we all don't know what truthfully the right thing to do, but we all know that emotionally we're drained. We're drained of talking about it. We're drained of it happening over and over again. We're drained of trying to make a change, but change not coming. We're drained of it happening over and over again. We're drained emotionally, just emotionally drained, and it's sad to see it because what a lot of people don't understand is why are you drained? It's because if you're in the same situation, you know that could easily be you in that situation. That could easily be one of my loved ones in that situation. You say, oh yeah, resist arrest, but it's like at the end of the day, okay, he resisted arrest and he got in his car, but to be shot 7 times in the back, that's just ridiculous. When there's 3 or 4 cops there that could have tackled this guy to the ground. And if anybody says that should have happened in that situation, they're out of their mind. And so that's just draining to think, because every time I see that situation, I say that could easily been me. You know, that could easily been one of my cousins. That could easily be one of my uncles. You know, and the reason why I say that is it could have easily been me because I'm an African American in America, in which it's sad to say, it seems just like not all cops, but a majority of these cops, you know, when they see African American, I feel like they have no value in life. No, they don't value our life as much as they value a Caucasian or anybody else. And so that's just what I believe. And, you know, what I've seen in terms of these videos and stuff, and how they're just brutally murdering and just taking their pain or whatever it is out on us. It just goes to show that my theory is semi-correct.
Next question from Christopher Dunnels.
Hey, Emmanuel, it's tough to follow that. That was really powerful stuff, and I hate to just transition back to questions about your on-field work, but I was curious what you're seeing, if any similarities between the Saints defense in practice and the 49ers defense you face in practice in your time in San Francisco.
I wasn't at training camp with the 49ers defense, so I really don't know. When I got there, we were already practicing, and I wasn't even going against the defense. I didn't go against Richard Sherman none in all that practice, but our defense, you know, I was talking to the receivers coach RC, and he was just saying how much better each year they're getting better and better. So I know one thing, that they every time I catch the ball, the entire defense swarms to the ball and they're trying to bat the ball out. Sometimes I get punched in the stomach because they're trying to just poke the ball out, and it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds after the play, they going after the ball. So I know one thing, those guys, man, they bring the energy and they fly around, and so I'm looking forward to seeing if, you know, we can put it all together. But I got a feeling we're going to be a pretty good team this year.
Next question's from Luke Johnson.
Emmanuel, what have you kind of learned about Traquan Smith since you've been here, and just in general, what's kind of the hard part about transitioning between inside and outside, just technically as a receiver?
Yeah, I mean, Traquan's a player. He's a quiet player, but he's a player. He makes those plays and he just jaws back. He doesn't say too much. He don't talk too much crap. He just goes to work every single day, makes his plays and go home, wakes up and makes his plays and go home. And, you know, the transition from outside to inside in this offense, if you can play outside and you can play inside, you're going to be able to, you know, stack up the catches and stack up the yards. And I think that, you know, a lot of the guys, the receivers that they have, a majority of these guys can move inside and move outside. And so I'm looking forward to playing with, you know, the entire receiving core. Benny's been balling and Trey's been balling, and I think we had a good day today. So you know, we got to just keep building off that.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
How comfortable do you feel now in the offense since the last time we talked to you? And it seems like the last few days you kind of really started to hit your stride and make a lot of plays. Do you feel like it's starting to get a little bit more natural? Yeah, and I think they're starting to design a couple plays to give me the ball. At first I was just taking the top off the defense and, you know, just allowing the tight end and the X to get open. But now they're moving me inside and moving me outside. Today I played one rep at F in which they put me in position to make a play, and you know, I'm starting to like it a lot more. At first I was like, dang, I'm just running off. But the receivers coach told me just be patient. We was just installing, and now we got an entire install out. So Sean Payton and the offensive coordinators and the receivers coaches, they coming together and drawing up plays for me to be able to get the ball, and so I'm loving it. And just on the defense, with all the safeties they got and the corners, you know, those guys you're going against, how good is that secondary, and how hard is it just to get open? Man, those guys are good. Those guys are good. Lattimore and Jenkins, man, they form a tandem in which they're going to be able to make some plays. I've been really surprised by Jenkins, just his feet. I ran a comeback at the first couple of days of training camp, and
I thought I was going to be wide open, and this guy stopped on a dime. His feet are really good, and he stopped on a dime and broke up the pass. And I was really surprised. I've never seen a guy cover that route how I ran it. And so I'm looking forward to playing with both of them. I know that, defensively from a secondary standpoint, we're going to be solid because we got 2 solid corners. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Next question is from Caroline Gonzalez.
I think they said that's it.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Yeah,
Thanks
see.
anyway.
See.
Thanks, Emmanuel.
All right.